Up first, former Chicago City Clerk Jim Laski, free for the first time in a year and a half after being convicted on corruption charges.
I made some mistakes. I mean, I put friendship before my job. I mean, I made some terrible decisions with former friends, and I paid the price.
Once powerful and part of the machine, now he's sharing his view from the inside. My exclusive interview right after this break. Homecoming for the highest-ranking city official caught in Chicago's infamous hired truck scandal. Former city clerk Jim Laski walked out a free man today. 11 months in federal prison, 6 months in a halfway house and home confinement has left an apologetic man. And his tell-all book about the dark side of Chicago city politics. Tonight, my exclusive one-on-one on day one of his new life.
I feel like walking and running and jumping. So yeah, absolutely. So I'm happy. I'm really happy.
Former Chicago City Clerk Jim Laski after signing his freedom papers at a Chicago halfway house today. Nearly 2 years ago, a stunned-looking Laski walked from the federal courthouse convicted of pocketing $48,000 in the hired truck scheme. That now infamous program got many in trouble for billing the city for truck work never done, but none bigger than Laski, who helped friends get trucks while he took their kickbacks.
I made some mistakes. I mean, I put friendship before my job. I mean, I made some terrible decisions with former friends, and I paid the price.
While we were setting up for tonight's interview, the doorbell rang. Delivered to his doorstep, an advanced copy of the book he wrote while in federal prison in West Virginia, My Fall from Grace, City Hall to Prison Walls. In the book, Laski talks of how dead people voted, how they altered absentee ballots and forged signatures on election petitions, the kind of Chicago voting that has made the city infamous. And he names names, choosing tonight to slam the art of entitlement where sons and daughters are handed their powerful office.
I heard that all along in the Lipinski organization when I was working my way up the ladder. Oh, Laski hasn't been in the organization long enough to be alderman. Laski hasn't done this. Laski hasn't done that. But look at today. I mean, look at the Strogers, the Lipinskis, and on and on and on.
He also writes about the wrongs he did, the humiliation of incarceration, and the worst day of his life, when he waved goodbye, driven off to the federal penitentiary in West Virginia, September 2006.
People can say, okay, Laski, corrupt politician, deserved what he got and all that, but there's a human side to all that. And I left behind my wife and my kids, and it's my fault. And Judge Norgal said, it's all on your doorstep, Mr. Laski, and I realized that. But, I paid my debt. And now like I said, I want to move forward. But that was the worst day of my life.
Laski's 419-page new book will officially be released for sale next week. That's when I'll delve a little deeper into the charges, accusations, names, and his apologies that he wrote about. More of my one-on-one with this one-time political force and his fall from grace. Before we move on, let's listen to Jim Laski's take on what he calls a sense of entitlement in Chicago politics. You know, the local dynasties, the Strogers, Lipinskis, and Beavers.
Let's face the facts. There are people who got into positions in politics that didn't earn it and didn't spend time in the trenches working the precincts or being an administrative assistant or just, they had silver spoons and they, mommy or daddy put them in there.